8 days ago was the official release of Edge of Eternities. This set was themed around space and exploration, involving a lot of sci-fi elements including warping, exploring different planets, harnessing black holes. It's super cool and not what I was expecting at all. And while every set has its flashy mythics and rares that we immediately start theory crafting deck ideas around, it also has those commons and uncommons that we don't think about. So today, as the TCG Trash Man, I want to go through my favorite commons and uncommons from Edge of Eternities. First one, rather than just being a single card, is actually going to be an almost complete cycle of cards, which is all of the commons that produce landers in each color combination. Blue has Divert Disaster. For black, you have the Beamsaw Prospector. Red has the Kav Landseeker, and I believe green's cheapest option is Sammy's Curiosity. Now, I just love lander tokens. I love the option to play things at instant speed, and being able to ramp at instant speed is just so cool. Also, I'd like to note that you can purchase any of these cards for less than 10 cents, which is fantastic. And although white doesn't get a dedicated common that generates a lander token, it does have some uncommons that can do the same thing. Well, I guess every color does. That being Dauntless Scrapbot. While Dauntless Scrapbot's a little more money, I can kinda understand it, as I can see it being a sideboard piece in almost any deck, considering it's an artifact which can be sacrificed with all of the artifact sacking synergy in Edge of Eternities, and it also generates a land token alongside exiling each opponent's graveyard. And I'm sorry, I just love this lander mechanic so much. I've got a couple more lander cards to show off. Edge Rover is a 1-mana 2/2 reach that, when it dies, each player creates a lander token. Standard Simic aggro decks can probably make the best use of this just due to its low cost. It generates a lander token, so it helps your game plan. Really cool card. And I'm not much of a red player, but this card is just such a flavor win. I love it. While it hasn't seen much play yet, I'm convinced that this card could be incredibly good in a mono-red aggro deck, considering that the best case scenario is you have a 4/3 to attack with, worst case scenario you get 2 landers, which if you run things that care about you sacking artifacts like Litho Breaking, then you're gonna be good either way. Tragic Trajectory is going to, I imagine, be a staple in Dimir, Esper, Rakdos, Orzhov aggro decks. Any deck that cares about establishing a board presence, even controlling the board. It's low to the ground and only costs 1 mana, so it has a lot of utility. The worst part about it being that it is sorcery speed, unlike Tragic Slip, which it's clearly based on, but it does provide an extra -1/-1, making it incredibly strong. I think Starfighter Pilot's an interesting card that, while it probably won't see a lot of play in Standard, I imagine it is just a new staple for any decks that care about vehicles in Commander. Shorikai, Greasefang, Katori, any of these commanders, it'll be great in. As more of a control player myself, this card really appeals to me because it also works in any deck that just cares about tapping down creatures, which I enjoy doing without entering combat. Now, in terms of power level, I feel like Cryogen Relic is just so absurd. It is so versatile too, which is, I think, a big factor in determining the power of a card. This card packs so much value. If you're running it in a blink deck, you're going to be drawing so many cards. I mean, Azorius Control, Dimir Control, anything like this. I mean, it replaces itself for 2 mana. It's fantastic. If you see this in a drafting environment, for me, that means I'm immediately going blue. Because, wow, this card's great. It does everything I like. If you couldn't tell, I like blue the best. Since Pauper is one of the formats I'm most interested in, I wanted to talk about where Cryogen Relic has been seen playing there, which is generally, and mostly, in affinity decks. It can be an incredible resource for sacrificing to Abjur to get that 1-mana counterspell, which is so strong in a commons-only format. Speaking of cards that I think are going to boost the play rate of Affinity, we have to talk about Nutrient Block, which seems very underwhelming as a 1-mana food token that you can sack, and when you sack it, it does the normal food thing, but in addition draws you a card. Nutrient Block is also indestructible, which allows it to stay safe from spells such as Braid or Nature's Claim, while also being a constant on your board, which will allow you to reduce the cost of spells such as Refurbished Familiar, Thoughtcast, and always be available to sacrifice with spells such as Fanatical Offering or Eviscerator's Insight. But that's all from me today. What commons are you excited about from this set? And are there any sets that are coming up that you're super excited about? I'll see you all next time. Bye.